been for well over a year now. And I just finally am starting to accept it. I'm not fighting it so much anymore. I'm just like, this is where I am.
Ruth, this may not be helpful to you, but I'll just throw it out there. About trusting. You trusted Jesus since you were a little girl. Now you don't feel like you can, or you don't know how. My question, where I'm at, I'm rethinking everything too. I am. I got a whole lot more questions than I have answers right now.
Yeah.
And I'm having to rethink, what does it even mean to trust Jesus? I mean, in other words, what am I trusting him for? Am I trusting him for a particular result? Or am I trusting him to just be present with me? Or I don't know. I mean, so I'm saying this as a prayer. Lord, what does it even mean that we trust you? But I know that we are supposed to, and I think that we can trust him even when we don't think we are.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a decision. You're talking about C.S. Lewis. This just came to me. When that happens. What's that?
You do not believe in that.
I said I love it. Oh, love it. Loving that. In the screw tape letters. Screw tape letters. Wormwood is giving instructions to, or Wormwood to his nephew on how to tempt and deceive. And he says, do not be deceived, Wormwood. Our case is never, I'm paraphrasing, but I almost have it, our cause is never more in danger than when one of God's little loathsome creatures, looks around upon a universe from which every sign of him seems to have disappeared and asks why he has been forsaken and still trusts him.
Yeah.
He said our cause is never in more danger than at that point.
I love that.
Yeah. And I think about John on the island of Patmos after a life of serving, of loving Jesus, knowing Jesus, and he is alone, utterly alone, and probably horribly disfigured for the torture he went through, and yet of course he, right up to the very end, and he lived to 90 years old. It's like, please don't let me live that long.
We don't get a whole lot of comfort in looking at the examples of the early church.
I know. That's who we are, right?
Peter, Jesus' right hand guy, gave him the keys of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Whatever you bind will be bound. Whatever you loose will be loose. Peter ends up getting in Rome crucified upside down as an old man.
Yeah.
I don't understand this totally, but I'm trying to.
You said you did. You said you knew everything.
I
We were
do,
sitting
I
at
know
the table.
Just the way that I present my humility.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm looking at it as what I see is not ultimate reality, regardless of what I'm seeing. And if I build my faith on the things that I see, I'm in a world of hurt, man, because this place sucks sometimes. It really does. I mean, the earth is full of the destruction of sin, of selfishness and self-centeredness. There are rulers and principalities that are here, that are against us. We are in a warfare. That's sometimes where grace and warfare conflict, because God's grace covers everything, but it does. But we're still in a war. We still have active enemies. We are still being deceived by the lie every day. And the way the lie is manifested is how we look at things. And Paul says, I trust in the things that are not seen for my faith. Faith is the substance of the things not seen, things hoped for. Because that's where the reality is. It's in my Father, and he is in me, and no matter what I'm going through, and it's horrible sometimes, and it's painful most of the time. But it's where it's supposed to be. And if I can rest in that, if I can just take a deep breath and go, Lord Jesus, you never leave me, you never forsake me. You never give up on me. You never surrender. Your love is relentless. You pursue me all the time.
Yeah.
That mindset will change everything. My perspective. And when I'm not in it, then I'm back into the tree of good and evil. And I try to build my knowledge from there, which is all ass backwards.
Did you say ass?
Sorry.
Good. Scrub that from the tape, please. He said, the son of a bitch just said ass.
Okay, I'd like to read a scripture to tag what Keith just said. And this is in one of my favorite chapters in 2 Corinthians 4. Right after talking about Christ, who is the image of God, shines in our hearts, giving us the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus. Really good stuff. And then immediately after that, he says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us, because we are hard-pressed on every side. We are crushed, perplexed, but not in despair. But not in despair. I like that. We are persecuted, but not abandoned. We are struck down, but not destroyed. We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in us. For we who are alive are always being given over to death for Jesus. That does not sound like the prosperity gospel, does it?
No.
Name and claim it, everything's going to be wonderful. For we who are alive are always being handed over to death for Jesus' sake, so that his life may be revealed in our mortal bodies. And then he goes on to say, therefore we do not lose heart. Though, this is what Keith, what you were saying, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light, after we said all this, being beaten and persecuted, and our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal weight and glory that outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes on Jesus.
So,
On not what is seen. We fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal.
What is the reference to that?
That is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, last half of the chapter.
I need to read over that. So.
Yeah.
I was thinking along the same line, and just seeing your tears and hearing you cry out, it truly brought me back to the cross. How Jesus, a perfect Jesus, but he is our gold standard. He set an example for us to follow. To see you cry I'm sure means something to God. Because even his son lost trust. He said, my God, Father, why have you forsaken me? Truly, if Jesus, the Son, can say that, you can say the same thing without feeling guilty, without feeling like, I'm 60-some years old and thinking that's what's happened.
yeah.
Your faith is getting stronger, is what's happened. God is allowing you to see him, that he's never going to leave you. Because of your tears. Think about the person who has no tears. Who feel like, oh, I'm good. Life is good. But yet they're crumbling inside.
Yeah.
God see your pain. He feel your pain. He will never forsake you.
For we do not have a high priest who cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmity, but was tempted in every way, just as we are.
Well, to tag on to what she was saying, this is interesting. I did the Wake Forest professor I was telling you all about at breakfast that I communicated with some on all of this questioning. Being here this morning and listening to your all stories in the middle of my questioning is tremendously encouraging as well. Just to have people in the same boat. But I had sent this to her. And it's what if questioning our beliefs about God, and even whether he exists at all, is normal for a deeper spiritual journey and a greater revelation of who God is in the world?
Wow.
What if getting pissed off at him for all the suffering in the world is actually to see the world more like he does?
Wow. That's good.
While we aren't making sense of his interaction in the world, perhaps a crisis of belief is needed to get us out of religious boxes and confidence in our beliefs and doctrines, so we begin to see more deeply who God really is.
That's beautiful, John.
That's
beautiful. I love that.
I wrote it. That's something I said. Those are just thoughts that I've been wrestling with.
Will you
in
send
my
that?
question.
Will you send that to me, please?
Sure.
Just PM that to me.
You can put it on your page.
I'll put it on my page and everybody knows. It'll go viral.
Worldwide thoughts now, but I didn't know.
I'm gonna point out my word. I'm kind of pissed off at God because I can't understand why.
We're all getting real now, sister.
I know. By the time we leave, we're all going to be Buddhists.
All right, God, we're done. We're joining the American Atheist
That's right.
Association.
That's
And
right.
you can say pissed off because it's almost like, when God, when are you going to say it's time? How much more can we as humans, how much more can we withstand? How much more can we suffer
Obviously,
and
a lot
fight?
more.
Yeah.
I'm going to a group over at Elsewhere that meets, it's called Anti-Racist White People Serving Black Lives Matter.
I love it.
Very
Can
interesting.
we say that
group.
again? What's the name of the group?
Anti-racist white people.
Serving Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
I sat in that group on Wednesday night, and afterwards I felt so burdened. I felt so like a ton of bricks was just on me. I just couldn't. It was like, God, I cannot deal with this. To see a room full of mostly white people who had assembled together, and all they want to know is, what can I do? I do not want to be labeled as those white people.
I don't want to be one of them.
Yeah, I don't want to be one of them. What can I do? So you have a few black people who came, and they wanted to know from the black people, what can I do so that I won't be? So, we all gave our little spiel and just gave our experiences of experience of whiteness in a world that was created to uphold whiteness. Very interesting group, but I just left because the one thing that I realized in this group that was missing was to talk about Jesus and God's purpose.
Wow.
Everybody wants to form their little groups and everyone wants to start their little missions, but when they do it, they always forget the staple, the standard is God.
Yeah, the one who was love himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I left that
That's good
feeling
stuff.
just so much in pain and so burdened and just praying to God the next time I go, if I go next time, God, lead me to say something.
Bring Jesus with you.
Maybe just by sitting there and feeling that burden, you're being Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't think we always have to say, hello, Jesus, to like be Jesus in the world. Because I think we live in a world where people are really turned off by that.
Yeah, we do.
The world, first of all, we got to remember that Jesus was in the world, but he was no part of it. And you can almost see, because there's a scripture, I can't remember what it is, but it talked about how the world will take. It would take your children. It would take your wife. It would take your money. It would take the world. All the world does is just take. It never gives anything back. So I think about in a world of black and white and Muslim and evangelical, how the world has just taken from all of us. It's rendered us all helpless. We need Jesus.
Would you say the thief comes only but to kill, steal, and destroy?
Exactly. Yeah, and we all are there. We all are feeling that. Every time you turn on the news, there's something about Donald Trump and there's something about white supremacy. And it's like, God, I don't want to hear any more of this. I just want to see just people coming together and loving each other. When is that going to happen?
Speaking of turning to Buddhist, I'm pretty sure he said, be the change you want to see.
I was just about to say, be the change you want. I was about to say, be the change that you want to see in the
It's a
world.
ripple effect. You
Which is
can't
why-
change it on a large
Which
scale.
is why I decided to come here. I said, you know what? I want to be uncomfortable. I'm tired of being comfortable according to the world's standards.
You feel uncomfortable right now?
I feel very comfortable.
Good.
I was going to say, I'm glad somebody said, I'm going to go to Charlie's place to be uncomfortable.
But really, we all are comfortable going to our own little church. Then you're going to sit for a little girl, and your parents said go there.
Yeah.
Get uncomfortable. Go to places that
Come
Jesus
on,
would have gone.
preach it.
Get uncomfortable.
I hope you'll
In
come
order
here and
to
be
be
uncomfortable with us again.
Yeah.
I will. I can't promise next Sunday.
I understand that.
Because
Don't make
but
promises you can't.
I know people would come.
Send them here. Send them here. We're starting something here. Oh, the Lord's starting something
I
here.
love this.
It's only our second week here. So we just started this.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just keep on growing to something godly and changing people's lives, their hearts. It's the heart that has to change.
Yeah, and I would like to see the black and white race not look at each other as races. Black Lives Matter, white supremacists, those titles are just another human being.
That's a process, though. That's a big process.
But the more
Because
we,
it's been
I think,
affected for a
I
long
think
time.
Obama really made a lot of division with the black and whites,
Well,
and
do you say that when you read the Bible and you see where Jesus talked about the poor lives matter? Did the rich people say, well, wait a minute, rich lives matter too? No, poor people were being oppressed. Poor people needed to be looked at and look at what's going on in jail, like lift them up. Black lives matter because look at what's happened forever in Black lives in
Yeah,
America.
and I think that Black lives have always mattered, and I think I went to a church, I went to an all-black church, and, yes, we did it, and I did it for many years, and I filled in for the pastor at times, and we had a really great relationship, and the Lord broke my heart for what the Black people had went through with, slavery and everything, and it was really an eye-opening thing for me, and gave me a real love, for the Black race as well, because I used to think, well, they're so different. They're not. They're just like me, and I think we need to see each other. They're just like me, and there is, I asked the pastor about this thing about the division, and he said a lot of the Black race, and he's Black too, have a slave mentality. Well, I'm a slave still, or that, I'm still need, to be considered a slave, where you're free from that now.
Yeah, because learning is an easy process.
It's
Unlearning is a
conditioned.
very
Unlearning is a very difficult
Yeah.
process.
We've been conditioned for years.
Right.
White people have been conditioned for years too.
Right.
Whether we can see it or not. We want to be open-minded, but
Right.
but we're not. We're not. We live in a white male supremacist society. It's really going to take some years to get
have been so violent, and it needs to be addressed in a peaceful way, a loving way, a Christ-like way.
That's why I said this group I went to, it's like, it's there, but Christ is so missing.
Amen. Yeah,
I have a friend that's very involved in
yeah.
that group.
They're throwing things at people that it just wasn't done out of love.
Right, and that's the key, is you've got to have love in there. You can't just be of this group or that group. There's got to be the love in there. I like that, what you're saying. And there is a way to bring it in there. We're going to be praying for you.